Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene D. Hamko, the multidimensional MD. I'm hopping on here a little earlier than usual, but wanted to go live. And I'm here to help raise the bar of medicine and help bring the intuitive aspects of health back to medicine. So today I want to talk about 11 messages for the graduates because it's graduation season and I've had the honor and privilege to talk to many graduates out there, and I just love you all so much. And it gave me this idea to hop on a video and just send out these 11 messages for all of you, because these are things that I would have loved to talk about earlier in my life. And during any major life transition, there is just so much momentum. So whether or not you're a graduate, these messages can help help you steer that momentum in a more conscious direction. So instead of letting like patterns run, you get to choose the direction that you want to steer your life. So these messages are applicable really at any age. It's for the graduates, but it's for more than that. And I know so much is going on. The world is still really intense with the school shooting yesterday in Texas at a Texas elementary school. Emotions are really running high. And so that kind of global news piled on top of personal happenings, both happy and sad, can make it difficult to know how to process things. So I understand that too. I mean, in my own life, there's like happy things and sad things. Right now, my little puppy is in the animal hospital. So we'll send her some love that she recovers well. And it's also my 20th anniversary. It's my 20th wedding anniversary. So it's a really big day for me too. And of course, we have all these graduation activities at the various schools as well. So to dive into those 11 tips, um, when you don't know what to feel, like what do you feel? Like what do you do? How do you approach that? Well, really, you feel all of it, and that leads us to the first message: is to not be afraid of living, because you know you have this life, and no matter the ups and downs, it's don't be afraid to live through it, because it's that feeling of living and like feeling the emotions that you really feel alive. So whether there's sad things going on or happy things, it's like how can you honor whatever you're experiencing, and not be afraid to experience things and make the best out of any situation. So you don't have to make it look perfect or your idea of what you'd like it to look like. It's more just not being afraid to live through it, and not numb out through life. I'm going to go through these relatively quickly. So number 2 is, if you aren't afraid of how you feel, then you in a way become untouchable. So sometimes people have asked me, how how do you go through life? Like it looks like, or it seems like things just slide off you like water. And part of it is that I've learned how to cultivate this approach of not being afraid of being afraid, not being afraid of anything that I feel or my experience in any way. So if I'm not afraid of being afraid, if I'm not afraid of being sad, and of course we're not afraid of being happy and joyful and content, then this is not like in a careless way, not in an ego way, but in an all accepting way where you can love yourself no matter what. And so see if you can be comfortable with your own discomfort, that you can love yourself, embrace yourself in any state, especially when it's quiet and there are no distractions. This can help you learn to be with yourself. And the more you learn about yourself and the more you learn how to be with yourself, then it just makes things flow, and you can go through life with more ease. So number 3, there is no competition because there is only one you. Of course, it's hard not to compare. That's the ego's job, comparison, but you don't have to let it rule you. And I start to think of that Olivia Rodrigo song. It's just like comparison. And you might play through your head just like that, comparing. And there's no reason why, and there's a reason why so many people have gravitated towards her songs, because there's something universal in that human struggle. And when you acknowledge the struggle, then it doesn't have to guide you. Like, you can be aware of it without letting it guide your path. You see? So you can just say, oh, yes, my mind does that. Like, this is the job of the ego to compare. That's okay. Ask what your heart says, not your ego. And your heart is always going to be very loving and supportive of you. So, number 4, deep down, your heart always knows that you're always deserving of love. So when it's difficult to feel that, then you have to kind of dig deeper, because when it's difficult to feel that, the heart becomes more shielded. And deep down, the heart, the light of the heart, it never goes out. So this is a constant, regardless of what you do, you feel, you think, that you are really more than good enough just as you are. You are this magnificent being made of light and love. So sometimes it just takes like digging deeper underneath the veil, the shield of the heart, to be able to feel that and remember that. And the more you stay connected with that, then the easier it is to kind of like maintain that connection. Number 5, everyone has their unique gifts, and everyone has their unique gifts and perspectives. So don't let that get you down on other people's perspectives. Everyone has their own, what I call, constitution or personality, and how someone behaves and what they say can tell you more about their state of being than you. Um, and I know there's a balance to that, because if you're if you do have like self-destructive behaviors, then it's good to have loved ones to help call you out and help redirect you. But in general, like, to if we get our egos hurt by the way other people behave, by what they say, um, then it's pausing and considering, like, oh, okay, this is that person's pattern, whatever stress pattern that they're running, that's making them act and behave this way. And also, this is their perspective. So, especially for people that have different like intuitive abilities, or maybe a bit more sensitive or empathic than others, then this is something that I tell them often, is that you might be able to notice things that are different than other people, than are different than even the majority of the people. And that's completely okay. But if you are walking through the world assuming that everybody is just like you and notice the exact same things that you do, then it's going to make things stickier, a little trickier. If you realize that everybody has their unique gifts and perspectives and their unique constitutions, then it gives it more ease to it. So you realize, like, oh, okay, some people are responding through their own perspective, through their own way of looking at things. And chances are that they also notice things that maybe you don't notice, or they're just more naturally like tend to see things or notice things. I mean, there's like people that are more analytical, engineering types. There's people that are more the feeler types, and there's a blend of people, all different unique qualities. So to appreciate each person for their uniqueness, and to know that you can learn something from anyone, any kind of interaction you can learn from. Number 6, it's okay if things don't end up exactly as planned. Things have a way of working out. Even the challenges and the twists and turns can be stepping stones towards something that is even more amazing than you can imagine. And sometimes it's hard to see that immediately, but if you consider just a bigger perspective, and kind of sink into that trust that, whatever I'm going through is necessary for whatever my growth is, my evolution is, whatever it needs, I need to go through for something even more amazing than I can imagine. So relax and lean into that. That's more of this growth mindset. And it's considering the question of, what do I need to grow through this? So that's something that helps me often. And even right now with our puppy in the hospital, and there was a chance she could need a major surgery. We still don't know. Um, so it didn't go exactly as planned, but I know that there is a way for us to move through this and to grow through this. And part of that growth was asking for help and, um, you know, telling other loved ones, can you help us and send some extra love our way because we could really use that. And so part of that is just like connecting and getting together, and that's a really beautiful thing too. And to know that you're never alone. Number 7, the universe is working with you, not against you. If you need help with confidence, you'll be placed in situations which urge you to have confidence. I mean, that's how you would grow through it. What would I need to grow through it? It's like, oh, okay, to have more confidence. So see how you can grow through difficulties. It helps to give them more meaning. And besides, there's no life without ups and downs. The storms are just as natural as the blue sky days. And often it's the storms that help us like get to another level. So to consider it that way, and to know that you are supported, you are loved, and this is just everything is passing. So no matter what, it's change that's always the constant. So even if you're going through something difficult, knowing that yes, it will change with time. And what I was saying before, number 8, get help when you need it. We are social beings and we are meant to interact with each other. And yes, some of us are more social than others, but to not be afraid of getting help when you need it. And this is part of understanding yourself and being able to call out like what are my needs and what kind of help do I need? Do I need help learning something new, or is it just I need someone that could listen to me? Do I need professional, medical, psychological help? Any kind of help that you need, then to be able to be honest with yourself and say, yes, I would like some help, because it makes it so much easier for people to help you when you ask for it. And, that's something that I had to learn over the decades of, I was fairly independent. I didn't really like to ask for help. And if there was a situation, then I wanted to figure it out myself. And so as I've gone through the years, then I've realized like, no, I have friends and family that really love me. So if there's something difficult that I'm going through and I would like company, or just someone to be with you, then there are people in my life that would be happy to do that, to and that again helps you connect. So to not shy away from that. Number 9, see the ridiculousness in things. So again, this is not in an ego way, but it's meant to lighten the heaviness and serious situation. It's not an avoidance of how you feel. A situation can be both sad and ridiculous at the same time. Um, I mean, there are so many things that happen where maybe someone said something and it got you down, and that could hurt your feelings. That's okay. You can let that be a moment and let it flow through you. And then at the same time, you can be like, that's completely ridiculous that they said that. And to realize that, yeah, it only hurts your feelings if you believe it too. So if just even a part of you believes it, if you don't, it would be like, oh, someone said your skin was blue. And you just be like, okay, that's ridiculous. And then move right along. So, you can see that through really even like difficult situations. So to try to see like the lightness, or the ridiculousness, the silliness of whatever is going on. So sometimes I imagine people as toddlers, and that can help, because when adults if you think of them as toddlers and they're kind of acting out, then it sort of starts to make more sense. And it's like, oh, that's why they're acting like that. It's a bunch of toddlers. And in the big scheme of things, we are kind of like toddlers in the universe because pretty sure that there are things out there that are much older than us. So it's just another way to look at it. This doesn't have to be something completely deep and profound. It could be something as simple as, my why is to be kind. And do you see how much the world would shift if that was this beautiful why behind everyone's behavior and intent and thought and words? That would change everything. My why is to be kind. So but consider whatever you desire, and why do you want to do it? Why is it your desire? um Often it's like, okay, I want to be happy. My desire is to experience joy and happiness and more peace in my life. So just to back up, and what is it? And another thing, it tends to be some way of helping people. That's another one. It's like somehow we are all meant to share our gifts with the world and to be of service to the world in some way. And how that is can be so vary so much. Some people it's like, oh, working with animals. Other people, it could be just helping keep people organized, or dealing with emotions, or even just, you can think that the why, it doesn't necessarily make sense with a certain person's occupation, because you could have any job and part of your why is being kind to people and being able to uplift people. So that can apply anywhere, anytime. And number 11 is to believe in yourself. I know it can be tempting to wait for others to believe in you first, but it's way more efficient if you work from the inside out. Then you have that belief in yourself, and you feel that emanates outwards from your heart field out into your being, out into the world. And then what happens is that world will come to meet you. The world will believe in you because you believe in yourself, and your work becomes your play. Of course, it helps, from the outside in as well. But when you do it from the inside out, that's where you can be more conscious and really steer your life in the direction that you desire. So happy graduation. I love you all so much. And if any of you grads out there or anyone else has any questions, you know where to find me. You can leave a comment below. You can follow me on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on Facebook at All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, TikTok, the MultiDimensional MD, and go to my website and sign up for the e-love letters. I send them out weekly at allworldshealth.com. So I hope that helped you in some way, and lots of love to all of you. I will see you next week at my regular time, 11 a.m. EST, next Wednesday, for another episode of the MultiDimensional MD. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, and I love you all. Bye.